Imagine you're standing outside, when suddenly Earth's entire atmosphere disappears. No air, no clouds, no wind, no pressure. For 5 seconds, Earth is exposed directly to space. Then, just as suddenly, the atmosphere returns. 5 seconds doesn't sound very long, but would you survive? The first thing you'd notice wouldn't be that you couldn't breathe. It would be the pressure. Right now, Earth's atmosphere is pressing against every part of your body. You don't notice it because the pressure inside your body balances the pressure outside. Remove the atmosphere, and that balance disappears. But despite what movies sometimes show, you wouldn't instantly explode. Your skin and tissues are strong enough to keep your body together. You also wouldn't instantly freeze. Space is cold, but losing body heat takes time. For 5 seconds, temperature would be the least of your worries. Holding your breath, however, would be a bad idea. Without outside pressure, air trapped inside your lungs would expand. The safest response would be to let the air escape, but you'd have almost no time to understand what was happening. Then there's sound. For 5 seconds, the world would become eerily silent. Sound waves need a medium such as air to travel. Without an atmosphere, you wouldn't hear traffic, birds, wind, or even someone shouting beside you. But something even stranger would happen above your head. The sky would turn dark. Our familiar blue sky exists because molecules in the atmosphere scatter sunlight. Remove those molecules. And even during the daytime, the sky would appear much darker, more like space. The sun would still shine, but the world around it would look completely different. Aircraft would face an immediate crisis. Airplanes depend on air moving over their wings to generate lift. Without an atmosphere, that lift disappears. Jet engines also need oxygen. They would lose combustion. 5 seconds later, when the atmosphere returned, pilots would suddenly have air again. But thousands of aircraft could be in very dangerous situations. And what about fires? Fire needs oxygen. Across the planet, open flames would go out. Car engines and other combustion engines would stop operating normally. But 5 seconds later, oxygen returns. The oceans would also react. Atmospheric pressure helps influence the behavior of liquid water at Earth's surface. With almost no external pressure, water at the surface could begin boiling, not because it suddenly became hot, but because the pressure had dropped dramatically. 5 seconds wouldn't be enough to boil away the oceans. Not even close. But their surfaces would experience an extraordinary disturbance. Then comes radiation. Earth's atmosphere protects us from much of the harmful radiation arriving from space. Without it, the surface would temporarily lose an important protective shield. Fortunately, 5 seconds would be extremely brief. For most people, radiation probably wouldn't be the immediate danger. The return of the atmosphere might be more dramatic. Imagine the entire atmosphere suddenly reappearing around Earth. Air pressure would return. Sound would return. Aircraft would encounter air again. Engines might begin recovering. And the surface of the oceans would suddenly be under atmospheric pressure once more. Depending on exactly how the atmosphere disappeared and returned, that transition could create enormous pressure changes and violent disturbances. So, would humanity survive? If Earth's atmosphere disappeared for only 5 seconds and then returned exactly as it was, many people probably would. But those 5 seconds could cause accidents, aviation disasters, and widespread chaos. And they would reveal something we almost never think about. The atmosphere isn't simply the air we breathe. It gives us pressure, carries sound, creates our blue sky, helps aircraft fly, supports combustion, protects Earth's surface, and makes life as we know it possible. We live at the bottom of an enormous ocean of air, yet most of the time, we barely notice it's there. Take it away for just 5 seconds, and we'd never take our atmosphere for granted again. This is the Why Vault, where ordinary questions lead to extraordinary answers.